Alright guys, so it's a big video today, but there's a lot of information, a lot of stuff I want to talk about. I don't know how I'm going to go through all of this, but please stand by and enjoy. Gameplay is pretty much irrelevant, but the big question is, why is Call of Duty every single year so bad? When it shouldn't, right? I mean, us as humanity, we are all about innovation. Every year, better cars, faster cell phones, faster computers, better this, better that. You know, we logically make better things every single year. But Call of Duty just goes backwards. You know, they make worse than it was. And trying to understand, and it comes out that this is all about shady tactics for a money grab, because the video game industry has turned up into one of the most profitable entertainment revenue in the industry. I mean, take a look at this picture right here that I'm about to show you. Look at this. Yearly, video games, they make $139 billion. That's more money, okay? That's more money than movies, music, the NFL, the NBA, the MLB, and the NHL combined. You put all these together and video games make more money. And that's maybe around since 2013, 14, since the microtransactions started in Call of Duty. But other games too were starting to having that type of thing. I remember playing this little mobile game called Boom Beach. And I remember like they were selling things where you can buy time. And I was like, wow, this is pretty smart idea for someone who does not want to invest many hours on a game. But they could just buy time and they can upgrade their stuff faster. And I noticed at that time, I was like, man, I don't know if this is a good idea or a bad idea. And turns out, specifically for Call of Duty, this is not good at all. But somehow there is still a lot of people who fall into this, and they supply them a lot of money. And why isn't removed from the game? Well, that's because people still paying for that. So if you have a good revenue on that, maybe they don't have a reason on why to remove that. And listen, I give a lot of shit to Joe Seacott and the other girl there, Ashton, just like we did back to Glenn Schofield and Michael Condrey. But these guys, they're all puppets, man. I mean, they can get fired the next day, and they're not in control of, for example, I'm the one first who's saying, and there's many of you guys, will go on Twitter, and they know. They see the tweets. It's remove the skill-based matchmaking. Why do you think they don't talk about this? That's because I'm almost sure they have no power into that. They cannot talk about that. And in the skill-based matchmaking, there is something in there that has to do with the microtransactions. That's how insane it is, man. I've been doing some researches and I looked it up and I'm like, okay, this has to be the only logical way. Because why would you not acknowledge that when you have thousands and thousands of people making new tweets every day, remove skill-based matchmaking, and they're just not doing it? Listen, the big dog out here is Activision. Who's working there? The businessman, Bobby Kotick. Little resume of that guy. Bobby Kotick and his partner, in 1990, they bought a 25% of the stake of the Activision company. Then in 2008, he became CEO of Activision Blizzard, because it's a combined company of Activision that they merged with Vivendi Games, which was a video game publisher, and they became Activision Blizzard. Now, Blizzard Entertainment, you guys might know some familiar games from them, which is like Diablo, StarCraft, Warcraft, and Overwatch. But the problem is that Activision, they've been ruining a lot of video games. A lot of games have been ruined by Activision. Not only Call of Duty, Guitar Hero, Tony Hawk, Destiny, Diablo. I'm gonna give you guys a little examples, like what happened with Guitar Hero, for example. I remember that game was a popular game. Well, I was not, a big fan of it, but Guitar Hero, what Activision did when they got the rights of that game? Well, they saturated the shit out of that game by making 8 games in 1 year. I mean, when you make 8 games, it's like make 8 Call of Duties in 1 year. Yeah, I mean, people don't even know where to go anymore, you know? Tony Hawk, they were at the end of the license of that game. What they did is like they brought like a cheap, they invented this idea of buying, where you could buy a skateboard and you have like a physical skateboard, like that looked like the overboard from Back to the Future, and you were like able to, you know, to make moves with it. It was just not a good idea. The game was full of bugs. Not a good idea either. And the other game is Destiny. A lot of people enjoy Destiny, you know, which is made by Bungie. You know, they signed a 10-year with Activision in 2010, but in 2019 they left. If you remember, they made Destiny in 2014, the first one, and in 2017 they made Destiny 2. Y'all remember the DLC scam in there? Destiny had like 2 DLC expansion packs before the launch. Some players were able to glitch out on the game, and they found like the locked content. Example of the third DLC, which was called Taken King, something like that, was shown on the first trailer of the game. The DLC was already on the disc, but it was simply locked down by a paywall, and then they added microtransactions on top of that. I don't know how people are so blind. I mean, I tried Destiny, but when I saw all these DLC extension packs and like, you know, crazy $60, I'm like, whoa, hold on a second, man. You want me to invest so much money on this video game? That's crazy. Like, take for example, Modern Warfare. Okay, this game right here, there's something so shady about this game, and let me just show you here a picture. Like, this is the storage of this game. Right now, it's at 141 gigabytes. That's how much place this game takes on my PlayStation hard drive. COD Ghost, 34 gigs. Let's say about 34 gigs. Black Ops 3, 70 gigs. Let me tell you something, man. You want to hear something funny? COD Ghost has 14 maps on the multiplayer. Black Ops 4 has 14 maps as well, and Black Ops 3 something around that too. Modern Warfare has 6 maps. Do you see the big picture here? I'm sure there's a lot of maps already in this game, but they're just locked down by a paywall. It's impossible that Modern Warfare, this current game here, is taking 141 gigs and only has 6 maps. Well, now maybe 7 or 8. Let's just go to max 8. Okay, we got Shoot House and you got Crash. 140 gigs. When COD Ghost with 14 maps is taking 34 gigs. That's triple. Do you guys see this? We are victims of this bullshit of the money grab thing, man, and it's very unfortunate. And this is all the blame to Activision. Like I said, I mean, they screwed Guitar Hero, Tony Hawk, Destiny, Call of Duty, of course, Diablo. I mean, Diablo. Like people have been waiting for years for Diablo 4. And you know, the PC fans, and you know what they did? They made a mobile game instead. It's like, hey, haven't they done the COD mobile game as well? I don't know how the microtransactions work in there. I'm sure there's something about there to invest. That's for sure. But like when this all started, was it like around Advanced Warfare? No, they had the supply drops. Then Black Ops 3, they had the black market. And this one here, this is the interesting one that might be relating to Modern Warfare skill-based matchmaking. It's Call of Duty World War II. You know, they had the COD points as well, but there was a scam that was leaked about the skill-based matchmaking. And I want you guys to pay attention to this picture here that I'm going to show you. Here's apparently how the skill, one of the facts of how the skill-based matchmaking worked in COD World War II. Identify item that might be relevant to a first player. Okay. Then identify a second player that possesses the item. And this item here that they're talking about is probably something about microtransaction. Look at this. The other one is tune match variable and or coefficient to match first and second player. Match the first player and the second player. And then here, this is where it gets interesting. First player purchased item. Yes. Okay, so place first player in a gameplay session for which the item is effective. And the other one here, update player profile to indicate non-purchase. This was apparently something that if you bought a weapon or any, cosmetic, the game would more likely put you in the lobby with people that don't have it, so that you don't even know it, but you're a influence to someone who didn't spend money, who hasn't bought the item. Remember, like, you were able to kill a guy and then like, oh, so this is the new gun, and then you'll use it a little bit during the match, and then you're like, oh shit, it's so fun, man, I might buy this weapon. So without being conscious, you're being an influence of their system of, spend money, for the microtransactions. You see this? And it's being, like, I've been hearing rumors about this in Modern Warfare, that there's some people saying that apparently if you buy cosmetics in this game, you will be playing against noobs. I'm not sure if it's noobs, but I would say more likely you will be playing with people that haven't spent money in cosmetics. That maybe some of the noobs don't, and maybe that's the reason why they're saying you're going to be playing with noobs. But do you see this? This is probably why the skill-based matchmaking is not an easy thing. It might be more complex than something else, than something that you might think. But it's over the line, man. It's over the top. This thing is crazy, and it seems like we are just victims of this shady money grab of video games, this cheap tactic of getting money. But here's the thing, man, I don't understand. How do you want people to invest money into a game that is not fun? I can understand that you're trying to make microtransactions, you want to make sales and you want money. But dude, like, whoever publisher, whoever game designer, I don't know if you're ever listened to this, but if you guys are, you can share this thought. If you're not making a video game that is fun, people will not invest into it. So you have to listen to your consumer. You have to understand that if you're making a fun game, people will invest money into it. I remember in Modern Warfare 2, for example, okay, there was no microtransactions, but I bought every single DLC one by one. Why? Because I loved that game, man. I had so much fun. Black Ops 1 was the same thing. Dude, I love Black Ops 1 so much that I remember playing Black Ops 1 first in PS3. I had all the DLCs, and then for some reason I wanted to switch on the Xbox 360. I rebought the DLCs again. I invest money because the game was fun. I'm not gonna do this in this game here, that's for sure. And people don't want to do it either. So the key is make a fun game and we will invest. But if you're being too shady and you're not making a fun game, well, people are not investing and they're leaving. And apparently there's like email going out there to the people who've been playing who have stopped playing Modern Warfare, should I say. Apparently, Activision's been sending emails to people with this survey here, and one of the questions that is like a new multiplayer modes, new multiplayer maps. What like the question is, what if anything would convince you to start playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare again? Like, they know the game is bad. Like, they know the people are leaving. They see the numbers. And they have this here where it says if match balance issues were resolved. Of course, man. That's what everybody's been telling you. Do you not go on social media? I mean, they know it. They just, I don't know why they kind of ignore it, but it seems like they finally acknowledge it with this question here in the survey. And I mean, they're the ones telling us you need to adapt. Well, maybe now you see that you need to adapt to your fan base. You know what I mean? So, the big question, will Treyarch save us? I don't know. Activision got them by the balls. Activision are the ones that control this. We'll see, man. So anyways, man, hope you all enjoyed this commentary. And your thoughts, your comments. What do you all think about this, huh? Shady world, huh? Video game industry. Yes, it is, man. It's no longer buy a game and have fun. It's here's a little taste, and then give me some money. Give me the money. Anyways, your thoughts, your comments down below. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed. I'm Soldier, and I'm out.
Sure Beats.com